Hello guys, Lifehackster here, and today we are going to review and test out the Reolink Duo 3 Wi-Fi. I reviewed the PoE or Power over Ethernet version of this a while back, and I will link it down below if you haven't seen it yet. As to specs and features, they are basically the same. This is just the Wi-Fi version. And this is the model that Reolink released at CES this year. I know some of you are a bit underwhelmed on their offerings at CES, but I did hear a whisper that they're cooking up something major. But it is a hush-hush for now. And thank you Reolink for sending me this camera to be checked out. Also at CES, Reolink showed the black or stealth version of some of their cameras, like the Argus 4 Pro and the Bullet type that comes in a kit. This is a dual lens camera, two 8-megapixel lens each with a total of 16 megapixels. Basically two 4K cameras side by side, and the footage is stitched on camera to give you a 7680 by 2160 pixel resolution at 20 frames per second. This gives you a 180-degree horizontal field of view and 55-degree vertical field of view. It has spotlights at night that can turn on when it detects smart motion for full color recording, or it also has infrared night vision. This is a Reolink, so no subscription needed. It can record motion events and or continuously 24/7 to a microSD card up to a 256GB card and or to Reolink's NVR or Home Hub. This is dual-band Wi-Fi 6 and can connect to 2.4 or 5 GHz Wi-Fi. This is outdoor IP67 rated. Also, just like the PoE version, it has motion track feature. When you use email alerts, it will send a snapshot of the event and where the motion is with a timestamp. Inside the box, you will get some paperwork, two antennas, plug-in power supply, 12 volts, 2 amps, and power cable extension about 15 feet. An Ethernet cable which will be used to initially set this up. We have the mount, which is plastic, and the metal mounting bracket. We have the mounting screws, plastic anchors, reset pin, and hex wrench. And the camera itself, metal build. The same design as any of their Duo series cameras. Two lenses, spotlights, and infrared LEDs, light sensor, and mic. On the bottom, we have the speaker and a screwed-in cover that houses the microSD card slot and the reset switch. On top, we have the 1/4 screw mount, and same thing on the bottom. On the sides, we have the antenna mounts, which you can screw in the antennas, and they are labeled right and left. As to connection, we have the 12-volt power supply port and also an Ethernet port. Not PoE, Reolink has a separate model for that. You do have to power this up with a 12 volts DC. And I'll set this up by itself, so let's insert a microSD card. And to set up, we have to plug this in initially to your router or network, and also power this up. Open up the Reolink app, plus sign, scan the QR code which is on the top side of the camera. You have a choice to connect this to the Reolink Hub or standalone, which is the one that I'll pick. Create a device password, name your camera, and now you can select which Wi-Fi network to connect to, 2.4 or 5 GHz. Type in your password. Format the SD card, and it is set up. And you can now disconnect the Ethernet connection. Time to install this. Now, I have a unique situation here because I have a PoE or Ethernet cable to where I'm installing this. Ideally, if you have this set up, you have to go with the PoE version. But I'll make this work using a PoE splitter. So I install this box first, routing my Ethernet cable to it. Normally, you'll route a 12-volt wiring through your wall or ceiling or route it outside to the nearest power outlet. You just have to be creative on how to hide your wiring. And to protect your connection, you can use a junction box like this. I'll screw in the mounting bracket with the two included screws. Hook the mount in and screw in the short machine screw on the bottom to secure it. Install the camera to the mount and screw it in tight with the included hex wrench. Also tighten the ball head from the bottom. Also, to those that are not familiar with a PoE splitter, I will link a video I made a while back down below. I'll hook up the PoE splitter, run the Duo 3 cables on the box, and I have a rubber grommet here to at least dust-proof the connection, and plug in the 12-volt power supply to the camera. Now, I can easily plug in the Ethernet cable and set this up as wired, but we are testing the Wi-Fi of this camera, so I'll leave it unplugged. And I'll replace the cover on the box and screw it in. A little bit cleaner looking install. Reolink states that you can install this in a ceiling using its mount, but personally that just doesn't look right to me. Let's check these settings in the app. When you open up the app, you will see the snapshot from the camera. Click on it to get to live view, which loads up decently quick. In here, you can pause, listen in, take a snapshot, record the live view, change the quality from clear, balanced, or fluent. Okay, my suggestion here, because I get comments about the live view and the app being choppy or takes time to load up. change this to either balanced or fluent. Because in clear mode, you're streaming the full resolution, and most likely if your phone is in data or have a weak Wi-Fi connection, then you will experience choppiness or dropouts. The camera will still be recording in full resolution and is just the live streaming. You really don't need the full 4K, or in this case, the 16 megapixel resolution in your small phone screen. On top here, you can manually trigger the siren. Turn on the spotlights, which will switch the camera to color mode. On the bottom, you can start two-way talk, which is full duplex. Playback if you want to view the recordings. You can sort the events here. And you can view the recorded events, and you can download it to your phone. Make sure you're in clear mode when you're downloading to get the full resolution footage. Click the gear icon for the settings. We have display, stream, and in clear mode, it can record 7680 by 2160 resolution and frame rate 20 FPS max. Default is 15. As to the bitrate, the highest is 12,288 kilobits per second. I also set the frame rate to constant, and same with the bitrate. As to detection alarm, you can set non-detection zones, adjust the motion sensitivity, and it is separate for persons, cars, and animals. In camera recording, you can set the motion recording schedule or set it to record continuously 24/7. And as to notifications, you can change the alert tones, and you can pick which events you want to be notified about. And now time to do some testing. So this is the video and audio quality of the Reolink Duo 3 Wi-Fi version. And video clarity test at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Running back test. So this is the video quality of the Reolink Duo 3 Wi-Fi at night. And this one has spotlights on. There's 8 spotlights right there. And this is what it looks like at 10 feet. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So this is the video quality of the Reolink Duo 3 Wi-Fi at night, and this spotlight's off, and it has 6 infrared LEDs. And this is what it looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. We are going to test the notification speed of the Reolink Duo 3 Wi-Fi. And I'm on my 5G cellular connection, and it is 210. And I'm hiding right here because it can detect pretty quick because of its 180-degree field of view. Just like that. And there's no rich notification, but when you click on it, it should open up the live view. And it does load up pretty quick, decently quick. Cool. All right, it's still 2:11. I'm not sure if you can see that. There you go. And let's see what the notification cool off and also the max detection of the Reolink Duo 3 Wi-Fi. Set max sensitivity for person detection. Yep, I got a notification within less than a minute, and also I got detected at 50 feet. And it does load up pretty quick. It's just hard for me to see where I'm at, but I'm there, right there. Cool.
This is the audio quality coming out from the Reolink Duo 3 Wi-Fi. This is the audio quality coming out from the Reolink Duo 3 Wi-Fi.
So what do you think? Video quality is a Reolink, so it is pretty good, especially for a Wi-Fi based camera. The camera is also pretty responsive and performed well in my testing. I'm actually impressed because this is the Wi-Fi version, but Reolink didn't really cripple it. The frame rate defaults to 15 FPS, but you can still bump it up to 20, which will be the same as its PoE version. The funny thing is that its bitrate setting, you can bump it up to 12,000 kilobits per second, and on the PoE version, it only maxes out to 10,000. With all of that, I really wish they changed the design and the form factor of this camera. They already have the Argus 4 Pro, way smaller footprint, and same thing with the Duo 3V, so we know that they can make this smaller. But if you like this design, this Duo series cameras from Reolink are a pretty good option, because with just one camera, it can monitor your whole front or backyard. Especially if you have the Reolink NVR and streaming this in a monitor, you can easily visually track the movement from one side of your yard to the other. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.